dead, where evil lurks in every shadow and monsters roam the streets, mankind's only survival rests in the hands of two Welsh warriors. Armed with boomsticks, chainsaws, bad language, these beacons of hope will stop at nothing to obliterate deadites, vampires, psychotic nurses. So, hold tight, strap in, and let the professionals take charge. Otherwise, you're in for a rough, blood-soaked night.
Hey, how's it going?
Every time we go live, I always see you nervously potching with something. Nervously touching something like.
Sweating. You okay? How's it going?
Yeah, not bad. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. A little bit tender. Watched the rugby yesterday. A few drinks. Just can't handle it anymore. 45 now.
I'm starting to question your commitment to the podcast.
Well, I would argue that a man with a little hangover is very committed. You know, I would never cancel. I'd have to be dying to cancel this. No, I enjoy it, and I was actually hoping it would come earlier so I could have more time to chill afterwards. But I get to wait all day, like 7 o'clock. Yeah. Have you been watching anything?
Not really. I've got my daughter this weekend, so it's Christmas movies, Christmas Chronicles 1 and 2, and we watched that new
That
sexy
Christmas?
No, the one with the sexy snowman. New one on Netflix.
Is it?
Yeah. He's like the hottest snowman you'll ever see, but he's still cold, you know.
What, for kids?
Yeah, it's a PG.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, we did put our decorations up yesterday, earlier than normal, only because my wife's father-in-law was down and we thought we'd just do it up while he's here. But
keeping up appearances, like.
Yeah, it's a bit early for me normally. It's got to be in December. You know, it's crazy like any earlier, but this was an exception. I'm not ready for Christmas movies yet, though. Definitely not.
Nah. I have to get on. I have to get on them in November with my daughter.
Is that?
Yeah.
I've got a list. I watch the same Christmas films every year. So for kids stuff, I watch Santa Claus the movie, the one with Dudley Moore, which I'm a big fan of. I watch Elf. I don't really care about that, but my daughter likes it. Home Alone 1 and 2, that's required by law. And I know that, and I prefer the second one, even though the first one.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, the first one's better, but I prefer the second one, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
This is because the traps are more violent, and when you watch the first one, it's quite lame, isn't it, when you rewatch it?
Yeah, and Tim Curry's in this, so that's always a win. And
Donald Trump. Did you know?
There's some cuts of the film that he's been taken out of.
Only Canada.
Canada is it?
Yeah. Crazy, you know. Someone's taking the time and they grow up. And I've started, and I love what's it called? The Night Before with Anthony Mackie, Seth Rogen, and what's the other guy called?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, do you know my brain will not remember? Those people got 3 names.
Yeah. See, for me, that's easier to remember because it's like a rhythm, you know, like a rhyme.
Yeah, but I get them in the wrong order.
Gordon, Levitt, Joseph.
Yeah, a bit like Chloe, Grace, Moretz. I got it right then. But I always
that's such an old man to say. Like my mother will always say things wrong. little bits now and there, but it's such an old person thing to do, Jenks.
Yeah, well, I am old, you know. Yeah.
No, my Christmas tradition, since it was released 2 years ago, I think, Violent Night every year has to be.
I know, and I'm really hoping that it's only because he's stuck doing that stupid Thunderbolts film that they've kind of delayed the second one, because they've got to make one. They've got to.
They've got to. It did well. It did good enough.
Yeah, and there was talk about a second one. Plenty of scope, isn't there? Where the flashbacks when he's like a Viking.
Nordic.
Yeah. Such a clever take on Santa.
Yeah, I know. It's such a good film.
It is, yeah. But the Home Alone 2 is my ultimate favourite film. And I love a film called Arthur Christmas.
That's okay. My daughter likes that one.
But the funny thing is, it's a kid's film, and my kids like it more than... No, I like it more than my kids. My kids just like... And I'm like, oh, come on, stick it on. You got James McAvoy as Arthur, Jim Broadbent as Santa.
Right, guys, I promise you this isn't a Christmas video. We will save that for late December. Just having a Christmas chit-chat. We are going to get into some greasy horror remakes.
Yes. Just say one thing before we start. I watched Gladiator 2. Now, obviously, we're not going to do a review of Gladiator 2 because it's not horror. But I watched it. If you really like epic films, it's all right. It's not the worst film ever made. But the problem with these like epic movies, if they're not awesome, they're a slog. You know, they're always at least 2.5 hours long. So, like, if you watched a bad horror film, you know, most of the time they're 90 minutes. So you might have some good kills and you can get through it. But 2.5 hours of something that's not firing on all cylinders is very weak.
Hard work, like. Yeah.
And this guy, Paul Mescal, is there something his name is?
Paul Mescal.
He's not. He's very miscast.
Is he? I love him.
I don't know. I've never seen him before. I don't know who he is.
Oh, he's in loads of stuff, Jenks. You just got your eyes closed, mate.
Like what? Street Trash too.
After Sun was a really good one. He did Ordinary People. I think it's called. Really good BBC drama.
Oh, with Daisy.
Yeah, that's him.
Jones.
He did another good one called Four, which was amazing. That had what's the Irish girl? She was in Lady Bird.
Oh,
and Lovely Bones.
Yeah, I can't pronounce this.
Yeah, he did a film with her.
Ronan.
Yeah. Well, he did a film with her as well, and he's great. I love Paul Mescal. He may be miscast in this one, but
so I'm saying he's. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. He's trying to be like the Russell Crowe, and he hasn't got any gravitas of him. Like he's kind of like addressing all the gladiators, trying to lead them, and he just don't buy it. It's like they wouldn't listen to him. But you watch the original one, you can see they would follow Russell Crowe, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, should we get on with the show?
Yeah, let's read some comments first.
Yes.
Hey, guys. Good afternoon. Good night. Hi, Ab.
Hi, Abby. Curtis.
That's our emojis, that is. That's our membership emojis. Jenks.
Is it?
Yeah. We've got Movie Squirm. Hey lads, hope you're doing good this Sunday. We're doing great, pal. Thank you very much.
You got to check out his channel, Movie Squirm, horror channel like ours. It's cracking. Really highly recommended.
Good day, folks. Reese Wilson. Thanks for jumping on, pal. We've got the man, Jordan Moran. Evening all. Thank you, pal.
Evening, Jordan.
We got Sam Jones. Hello, Sam.
Evening, Sam.
11 a.m. here, good morning. Tyler Adams, I haven't seen you in a while, mate. How you doing?
Hi, Tyler.
Hey, guys, good evening, chat. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, Ella. Thanks
Sunday.
for jumping on. My Mrs. Dex went up 2 weeks ago. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful.
2 weeks ago. That's like summer.
It was Halloween 2 weeks ago.
If we had summer, that was almost summer.
It ain't Christmas till I've watched Scrooge. Now, the definitive Scrooge movie is A Muppet's Christmas Carol. All right?
Do you know
That's
what?
the one you need to be watching.
Do you know what, right? Do you know what? As a kid, I used to own Scrooged on VHS.
Yeah.
And it always used to bug me that they had the wrong Grim Reaper on the cover as the one in the film.
Is it?
So there's a Grim Reaper. They're making Scrooge the film in it, like a TV show of it in the film. And they've got a crappy Grim Reaper, and they use that on the cover, not the actual scary one that they actually had, which bugged me as a kid.
Sexy Snowman sounds like a step too far even for Twisted Locker. They don't need to be sexy.
Is it called Sexy Snowman?
No, it's something similar to that. Not quite Sexy Snowman, but Hot Snowman or something like that.
Has your laptop moved even further away? You're literally stretching across the room.
I know. Evening, Wendy. Christmas Vacation is a must for every year for me, and it ain't Christmas for me until Hans Gruber is dropped from the Nakatomi Plaza. Yes, Christmas Vacation is an absolute must-watch. That's probably the best vacation movie, I'd say.
And, is Die Hard a Christmas film? Should we have a discussion? No, we won't.
No. No. I am 46 and I'm not old.
Yes. Yeah.
I know. I'm
very
sorry.
ageist,
I'm
Curtis.
sorry, Ella.
Very
I'm not
ageist.
that young myself, to be honest.
Very ageist.
Hiya, Jel. Thanks for jumping
Jel.
on. Christmas Bloody Christmas is a modern Christmas classic. Which one was that one? Oh, I don't think I've seen it.
I haven't even seen Black Christmas.
Yes, I need to see that, Jod. I haven't watched that one yet. I almost went to cinema to watch it, but something
All of
came
us
up.
are strangers.
Yeah. We got My Chunky Geordie. Thanks for jumping on.
Hi, everybody.
Glad to hear, Tyler Pal. Thanks for jumping on, mate. Oh, there's loads. Hi, Hayley. Thanks for jumping on. Invasion of the Body Snatchers from 1978, The Thing, 1982 are two of the absolute best horror remakes. Oh, absolutely agree, pal. Those two would be in my top 5 easily. Definitely. Home Alone and The Grinch is my Xmas musts. That was a flipping tongue twister.
Oh, that's a good tongue twister.
Krampus ticks both boxes. 100%.
Krampus, yes. Quite underrated, that film. It's quite a lost movie, isn't it, Krampus?
For me, Ernest Scared Stupid is a must for Halloween and Christmas Vacation, a must for every Xmas. Now, I know Ernest movies, but I don't think I've ever seen one of them. I know they're very big in America.
Well,
I don't think they're that big over here.
I've seen them, and there's a Christmas film. I think Ernest Saves Christmas.
Yeah.
I think that's one.
There's loads in there. There's loads.
Yeah.
Do you know the Ernest, the Halloween Ernest one? I was reading something the other day that the goblins in that are the same goblins from Trolls 2, repurposed. No, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's Killer. They used the dolls from Killer Clowns from Outer Space and repurposed them for that film.
Why not?
Save money in it.
Yeah, definitely. I love little Easter eggs like that when they use same studio back. Things like that.
Right, should we get started, Jenks?
Yes. So we are doing a tier of best horror remakes. I say best. There's a few duffs in there, but because Curtis and I disagree on a few of them, so normally we just pick the best of the best. But this time there's a few weaker ones in there.
Yeah.
I've left out the ones that we haven't seen the original because it's unfair to say it's a better one if you haven't seen it. That's why Invasion of the Body Snatchers is not on there, because I haven't seen the original. I don't think you've seen the original, have you?
No, I haven't. No. That's the only one I've seen.
Yeah, so I just thought it'd be a bit of a cop-out to praise it when we have no idea how the original is like. So, should we get cracking?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, so first up, we have the Amityville Horror. Now, we saw this together about a year ago with Ryan Reynolds. Somehow he's got his top off and he's fucking jacked. No reason for it. Just jacked. You know, he got into shape for this. Like, he's training for a superhero film. And it's like, what are you doing? Just keep your shirt on and just don't waste your time.
He's meant to be like just an everyday dad, you know?
Yeah. And let me tell
My
you
dad
now.
don't look like that.
Let me tell you now, right? In the 70s, nobody was as jacked as that unless you were like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know?
Yeah.
Like you had like in the 70s, you had like Burt Reynolds was jacked, but he just had like big ribs and like his belly was sucked in.
He's more of like a natural jacked in it. Nothing's quite chiseled, just a big guy like.
Yeah, old man, out of shape, in shape body.
Can I say, right, I remember this coming out. I was really young when it came out, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a proper good horror movie. And for some reason, it's not a film I ever went back to until last year. So it's the first time I watched it last year since it was released. And oh my God, what a pile of turd.
It was, I know, it was.
It's got no redeeming factors whatsoever. It's not even remotely scary. Now, the early 2000s was a bit of a dark time for horror movies. There was a lot of shit. And unfortunately, this one fell into that category. Yeah. I just feel like they were trying to go for this new age look, and it fell flat for a lot of them. I don't think until Texas Chainsaw Massacre did and a few of the other remakes, that's when they started finding their feet. But
well, as it happens, Curtis, this came out in 2005. after all that.
Really?
Yeah. So there was
Hills of Ice came out in 2006.
Yeah, so this was on the back of this like surge of horror remakes. Like I don't know where Michael Bay produced this one, but he was very much behind a lot of them.
Yeah.
It just wasn't very good. So we got 40 years. It's not very creative. I know. We got awesome. Good. Okay. Shit. Right. We don't need fancy ones. Most people don't give a shit. They're only funny for about 2 seconds, and then it gets confused into which one is what. So I'm going to stick this in shit because it is shit. What do you think, Curtis?
Yeah, it's going in shit.
It's going in, it's going in shit.
I'm going to dip it in shit.
Oh, why didn't I make shit brown? That was stupid, wasn't it? Oh, there's no brown, that's why.
All right, you're forgiven then, pal.
Modern day problems. Oh, there's no brown. Oh,
you just wanted an excuse to say shit all night.
Okay, we got Child's Play. The remake came out 2019, not that long ago, before COVID. Everything, time stopped before COVID. Everything's like before, after COVID. 2019 is that strange time, isn't it? The last of the good Marvels, just before COVID. All right, I'll start with this one. I didn't mind this film. I'm not a big fan of the Chucky films, as you know. And it did something different. At least, it didn't do the supernatural thing. And I know people moaned about that, but, like we've said before, either make it better or make it different. Yeah. It's not better, but it's different. So I'll give it a bit of credit. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I actually really enjoyed this one. No, it didn't blow me away. I just thought it was a very solid remake, considering how iconic Child's Play 1 is. I know you don't like the franchise as a whole, but if you just look at the first movie and how iconic it is, I think it did a great job. And what they needed to do is, and especially if Brad Dourif's not going to be in there, you need to do something completely different. So everyone kicked off when Mark Hamill was announced to be Chucky. But they separated themselves from the original one, so they changed Chucky, they changed his voice, and for me, it was different enough to be a really good remake.
Yes, 100%. So what are you going to stick it in?
Okay.
Yeah. Right, let me just, sorry. You stick it in okay, right. I will probably do exactly the same thing, because it was a swing and a miss, and I say it's a bit of a miss, but at least they give it a swing, and you've got to give it a little bit of respect, I think, It's not the worst film in the
definitely.
world.
And it's ultra-violent.
Yes, right. We have got an easy one for me. This is a big swing, and it's Dawn of the Dead, 2004's remake of the original. Came out in 1978. I love this film. It's one of the best zombie films ever made, and it's going in awesome for me. Straight in, no debate.
Yeah, easily, Jenks. I'm with you on that one. It's going right in shit.
You cheeky bastard.
No,
awesome.
No, awesome. Yeah.
Hey, imagine we had all these the same all the way through. That'd be freaky.
There is a stark difference between the original and the remake. So much so, like even Tom Savini's come out and said that they just stole George Romero's title and slapped it on his own movie.
Yeah.
Now, the only similarities are is that, it's a zombie apocalypse and it's set in a mall. But they're so different. And again, if you're going to remake a classic like Dawn of the Dead, and it had such a great social commentary on consumerism, they needed to do something completely different because you can't just replicate what Romero went for. So they opted just for a fully fledged survival movie. There's no time to mess around looking through shops. It's all survive. Yeah. Kill the zombies.
It is one of the best zombie films ever. And, it's written by James Gunn, directed by Zack Snyder, though he's made some shit films. He is a good director when he's
of course.
in his good films.
But I gotta say though, I'm sick of talking about this film. I am sick to death of talking about this film.
Okay, well, The Thing is coming up soon, so best keep your mouth shut, yeah?
I will. Everyone knows. Right, let me catch up on a few comments. Evil Dead 2013 and Hills of Ice have got to be my favourites, but I also love the Friday the 13th remake. Yes, I watched Hills of Ice last night, the remake. Evil Dead 2013 is probably my favourite remake. Cracking.
Yes.
We got, how many movies will Jenks throw in shit? About 80% of them, I'd say.
Well, probably not a lot, actually, because I've kept out a lot of the good ones, bad ones.
We've got Davey Deathray in the chat, a very good friend of the channel. Thanks for jumping on, mate. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and Davies got an awesome channel, Davey Deathray. Does a lot of live, teams up with some amazing sort of YouTubers. He really manages to get some high-end ones on his channel. He's got the charms, I think, to lure them in.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I make him sound like a predator. Lure them in.
No, Brown. Well, if you see red in your shit, see a doctor. Thanks for the tip. I definitely will.
Yeah.
I proper love a Child's Play franchise. It is a great franchise. There's a few weak ones, but I love Child's Play.
A few?
We got some love for Davey. So we got, I thought Hamill did a fine job. Oh, he definitely did. I think he was perfectly great, perfectly fine in it.
Well, he's a great voice actor. He's a bit of a screwball in real life, but he's a great voice actor. The best Joker.
Hi everyone, I can't be on long. I thought I'd check in and say hello on holidays in the Canaries.
Oh, nice.
I'll catch the rest of your show tomorrow, guys. Shit as much as you like, Jenks.
Thanks, Don.
Well, Don, I hope you have an amazing holiday.
Yes.
Thank you so much for jumping on to say hello. We appreciate that.
Yes, she's got it right. She's going on holidays in the winter.
Yes.
British people get it all wrong. We go on holidays in the summer when we shouldn't. We should stay here.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Abigail. I am at the moment just off to get tea. Thought I'd show my support from over 4,500 miles away. Don, you're absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Honestly, thank you so much. That's dedication. It is. Thank you, Don. Have a great holiday.
Right, so our next up is Evil Dead, 2013's remake of the classic. I think we both know where this is going to go. We love this movie. Absolutely adore it. It's
my
top-notch.
God. I don't know if I've said this before, but I went to see this 3 times in cinema. Oh my God. Obsessed with this film when it came out. Jesus Christ, it blew me away. And do you know what, right? I can't believe... I remember the trailer dropping, right? Back in 2013, and I can remember being disappointed that it was going to be like a straight-edge horror movie because I loved Evil Dead 2 and 3 so much. I wanted that humour. Obviously, disappointed that Bruce Campbell wasn't going to be in there. But I remember watching the trailer and being disappointed because I was like, this isn't Evil Dead to me because Evil Dead's always been Evil Dead 2 and 3 to me. And how wrong was I? Keep making them like Evil Dead 2013 because it is easily one of the best Evil Dead movies. It's fantastic.
Well, yeah, and I think like we said before, if they try to have a new lead male in it and just try to be the new Ash, I think they just went back to the normal horror roots of having a final girl. It works really well, and I think tonally they've got it right now. Evil Dead Rise is definitely a sort of companion to this.
You know in Evil Dead Rise where Bethy, she's got a shotgun and she says, "Come get some."
Yeah.
If that was a man, I would have been tamping. I would have been like, no one else can say that. But when she said it, I was fucking cheering like, yes!
Yeah. And she's sexy. She looks really sexy with covered in blood, shotgun, skirt on. Yeah, I love this film and it's going straight in awesome.
Jenks, probably top 3 greatest remakes of all time. I know a lot of people say it's a sequel because Ash's car is out the front. I personally just think that's an Easter egg and a throwback to the original.
Totally.
It just doesn't feel like it's in the same world as the originals.
Look, I know people love to... I know you can just make up whatever you want, but if it's a sequel, there's no evidence of anything that happened previously apart from his car. There's no blood. There's no one else in the cellar. There's no this. There's no that. It's just... It doesn't matter, does it really?
No, of course not. Of course.
Right, we have got... Friday the 13th came out when did it come out now? I got written down here. 2009.
2009.
When I first watched this, weren't fussed, thought it was a bit shit. It was another Michael Bay produced thing. Rewatched it maybe a year, 6 months ago, and my mate just chucked something on, and we were like, oh, do you know what? I was a bit harsh in this. It's quite good. The kills are good.
Yeah.
He's quite menacing, and I think it's a bit underrated.
Yeah, we were talking about this on Movie Squirm's channel on Wednesday, And I'll say the same thing again. I never liked this movie, but I haven't seen it in probably 10 years. So I'll definitely give it a rewatch. I don't think it's shit. I'm not going to put it in the same category as Amityville Horror. So I'll put it in okay.
Yes, I will put it also in okay. This is getting scary, Curtis. We have got the exact same. Now, if anybody didn't know our channel, we think, oh, they're just sticking up for each other. But we really never do.
I love to go against you, like.
I know.
I love to stick it to you, like.
I can read a few comments, Curtis. So Abigail, that's real dedication. Oh, we just saw this old one. Sorry, Ben. I love the fact that Curtis didn't pronounce the place she's in.
I'll save myself from Jenks' embarrassment every time he tries to pronounce a name.
Look, how come every fucking review we do is a French director? I know. Honestly, when I do my research, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's a French director. When are we going to review like Steven Spielberg or somebody I just know?
Yeah. Make a horror movie.
Donkey, few beers for tourists. Nice. Oh, I'm jealous. John Davies, welcome to the channel, John. I may be the only one, but I think Elm Street reboot wasn't that bad. Keep up the great work. Thanks, John. And
thank you, John.
We've got it on the list, and yeah, I think it might be one of those that might need a rewatch, but we'll come to that now. Hugh Huckridge, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Now, I didn't put this on the list because I don't feel it's a remake. I feel it's just another adaptation, the same as It is not a remake. But then I got Pet Sematary on here, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But I know. Do you know what I mean? Like, one's a miniseries, one's a film. You know, Donkey. Bless you guys. Have another couple of beers.
For you too. Don't make me jealous.
I know. Bruce Campbell is the man. Yes, he is, Ben. He is the man.
Oh, he is. Kurt Russell and Bruce Campbell, top of the pile.
Real men. Real men. Yes, they don't even need muscles. They're still more manly than anybody. And Tom Selleck.
Bruce Campbell's got more man in his chin than I have in my whole body.
Yes, yeah. I used to think that when I used to watch Friends and see Tom Selleck, I'm thinking, oh, you're a proper man. Proper. Yeah. You wish you had a tash like him. He has got the best tash. Anyway, we're talking about Tom Selleck. Reese Wilson, I admit, Friday 13th reboot is okay, but it's no Jason Takes Manhattan. I love that piece of shit. Yeah, you've got to love that piece of shit.
Yes, we've just we're dropping a franchise review soon. We've just done a tier video of it.
Yeah, it was good fun.
And we both give a lot of love to that one, to be fair. I quite like Jason Takes Manhattan. Yeah. It's the best of the bad bunch, I think, of the later ones.
Yes, there is a fine line between shit and enjoyable shit. And that is definitely one of them.
Yeah, there's Jason X, which is just shit, and then there's, Takes Manhattan, which is great.
Yeah.
Great shit.
Right, next up we have Fright Night. Now, I feel like we only talked about this last week.
Did you have to do that so whimsical?
Well, it was Fright Night. Do you know what? I know you said the other day that there was a Fright Night 2, the remake Fright Night 2. And I looked it up when I was getting the image for this, and I could see this isn't a proper Fright Night. They've just tagged this title on, isn't it, when you read the synopsis?
I think it was a script. No, it was a script that was lingering, I believe. Yes,
and they threw it on because of the success off the back. You could tell by the cover, you could tell by the synopsis. It's not, and that's why it disappeared, didn't it? I think it's Fright Night 2 New Blood or something it's called.
It was straight to video anyway, I think, or DVD.
Straight to your father's shelf.
Top shelf.
Don't remember buying this. Yeah, no, it's just come straight. Fright Night. Where are you going to put this then, Kurt? I know you're a big fan of this.
I'm going to put this one in good. I think this is an extremely solid remake. Now, it's a proper remake. It follows all the same beats as the original one. But Colin Farrell puts in a different performance as Jerry Dandridge. Anton Yelchin is great in it. David Tennant is fantastic in it. I love the spin they've put on his character. Peter Vincent. And yeah, it's just a fantastic film. We watched this in cinema together.
Yes,
and I've seen it countless more times. I love the original and the remake. But I don't think it's the best movie. I'm not going to put in awesome, but it definitely deserves to be in good.
Yes, entirely right. Anton Yelchin gone too soon. He was a bit of a horror icon. He was in a handful of horrors and definitely was gravitating to those sort of roles, which is a damn shame. Right, this is where you and I are going to differ. I will put this in shit. No, I'm going to put this in...
I was going to say then.
No, it's not shit. I will happily put it in okay. It's perfectly fine. I would recommend it, but it doesn't resonate very much with me. But it is all right. So next up, we have Halloween 2007's. Was it 2007?
Your favourite?
2007's Rob Zombie. Piece of shit. Spoiler alert where this is going. I hate this film. I cannot stand Rob Zombie films. I don't think he's very talented. I think he's quite a bad director. I don't think he understands horror the way he thinks it is. People might disagree with me, but I just don't feel anything about his films at all. And this is a bad remake. Showing it from Michael's point of view was a big mistake. And then it's one thing showing, like, if you watch the film, what's it called? Violent Nature. Now, that is from the point of view of the killer. Very interesting. But the problem with Halloween, you try to do both. You try to have a first-person point of view and have the Laurie Strode story, and then somehow have tension. And you're like, how can you have tension when you followed him all the way down? It's not. I'm not a big fan of this. I know you like it a bit more than me, but what do you think?
Well, not a hell of a lot more than you, to be honest. Now, I actually like a fair few of Rob Zombie's films. I don't think he's a bad director at all, Jenks. I think he's just being nasty now. He could be on here, right? He could know about Twisted Locker, and he could be watching. He could be one of those 12 people in watching our video, right? Look, someone just dropped. No, I loved it when it came out. I was really young. I was really into Michael Myers, so I loved it, and everything I dislike about it now, I loved about it when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I loved that you saw Michael Myers more just because I liked the character so much. I loved that it delved into his backstory more. I liked that the start of the film started with him as a kid, and then. But now when I watch it, I'm like, I hate that. Like, the original one is perfect, right? So that's all you need to know, right? Is he was born evil. You get a quick snippet at the start of Michael in his house killing his family, and that's all you need, right?
Yeah.
He's the boogeyman. You don't know much about the boogeyman, whereas they tried to over-explain it in the new one. Now, I don't think it's shit. I think it's okay. I don't mind it. To be fair, I don't mind it.
So a problem I have, they try to make out like his upbringing, but his mother was good. It's just rubbish. And I think you're right to say they make him a mystery, a question mark over him. Oh, don't bother.
Yeah, definitely.
What are you gonna put it in? Okay or good?
Okay.
I'm gonna put this in shit. What do you think of that?
Obviously. What do you think of that?
What are you gonna do about it?
How'd you like those apples?
Right. Next up, we have a very forgotten movie. Nobody talks about it. Whether nobody talks about with hatred or love, it's just disappeared. And it's Hellraiser.
It's like in limbo, isn't it?
Yeah, and it came out 2021, not that long ago. No one's. Do you know what it is with this? I think, Kurt, is that the sequels are so horrendous. Past 3, obviously, or 4. Say 1 to 4 are the kind of like the normals, and then the rest are nonsense.
Yeah.
So I think the other ones are so bad that it's hard to slag this film off because it's so much better than at least 6 of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Like when a franchise returns to form after so many years, it's hard to shit on a movie because it's better than the last 10, you know?
Yeah. This is about. They're awful films. Like it's really fucking bad.
This was the third actor that wasn't Doug Bradley.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was the 4th person to play Pinhead.
I think she did a decent job. I think.
She looks. Great.
So I would say I'd put this in okay. I think it's probably worth another watch. It's got it's not terrible, but it's just forgettable. You know.
Yeah, I'll put it in the same place to be honest, Jenks.
Yeah. And it's a very strange one because it's like I almost forgot it existed. I was doing research this morning looking for remakes that I might have forgotten about. And I was like, oh, Hellraiser. And I completely slipped my mind.
Yeah.
You know? I'm going to read a couple of comments before they start building up too much. So, Ben, I've only seen the original Fright Night. Do you know what? I started watching the original Fright Night the other day, Curtis, and I switched it off. I haven't seen it for like 40 years, right? I switched it off because it was shit. No, because I was tired and I wanted to give it respect for you. Genuine.
Do you want a round of applause or what?
Well, all right. Do you know what? Then I'm not going to watch it, or I will watch it, and I'm going to slide it off just to spite you.
It's no skin off my back, mate.
You be gutted. You listen. You were when I watched Friday the 13th Part 4 the other day. You were sweating, thinking I'm going to shit on your favorite film. Hi Ben. I like a few Rob Zombie films. I think he's actually pretty good.
Definitely, yeah. House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects, to me, are great films. Devil's Rejects more so. I love Devil's Rejects. Yeah.
Right, so I reached where I like the 100. Let's start that again. I really like the House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects. Exactly what you just said. But he was the absolute wrong choice for Halloween. It lacked classic Halloween, as in spades. 100%. And I think John Carpenter really doesn't like this remake, does he?
No, he hates it. And I feel sorry for Rob Zombie because he's like a super John Carpenter fan and he has just shit on him publicly for so long.
Yeah, and I watched
you gotta feel sorry for the guy, like.
Yeah, and you know what? He was on Joe Rogan a few years ago talking about it. I think he might have been on a couple of times. And he said he had a nightmare on that shoot. He was dealing with all these studio execs and stuff, and they were just...
And Halloween too, yeah.
Just one last comment. Hi, John. I love the 4-hour making on YouTube of what?
Making of. I assume he's on about Halloween, gents.
Right. Cool. Right then, next
4
one in.
hours. Jesus.
Oh, you'd love that. Right, next up, we have The Hills Have Eyes. Came out 2006. Now, this is an easy one to remake because the original is quite shit.
Yeah.
Wes Craven's original. I love this film. I think we both love this film.
I watched it last night, not even realising that we were doing this video today, so it's not like I watched it as prep.
Yeah. You don't do
prep. I just chucked it. No, I know, I don't.
Prep?
So it's not like I'm going to try and watch all these movies before we watch it. I fucking wing it half the time. So I watched it last night, and then after it finished, I was like, oh, we're doing best remakes tomorrow. Great, I can talk about at least one of them greatly. But I love this one. I've loved it since it came out. Now, it improves on the first one. This is one remake I can happily say it improves on the original by 1,000,000%.
Oh, yeah.
It is relentless. Once this film gets going, it is just relentless. It's got some of the nastiest scenes ever. When Scott Glenn is tied to the tree and lit on fire. Yeah. Oh, my God.
I know.
That is the most horrific scene ever.
Yeah.
But I am a huge fan of this one. I think Alexandre Aja is such an underrated director. There's a shame Don't Let Go was a little bit of a letdown. I feel like he took a step back after Crawl with that one. But I feel like Alexandre Aja, a few more films under his belt, he can be considered highly, you know?
Yeah, I saw this in cinema. I absolutely adore it. I like I said, I had no... I didn't really care about the original. It was one of the Wes Craven's earlier ones. And it is so good. It's so violent. And, you know, like all the sort of inventive kills you have in these horrors, you know, the kill in this, when the shotgun shoots the woman in the chest in the caravan. That's like one of the most brutal shootings I've seen because she's so like just does not deserve it at all. Like,
yeah, I know.
She's not like a nasty cheerleader or something getting killed by someone. It's just like, oh God, it's fucking brutal.
But what's great is that you know no one is safe.
Yeah. And
that's what's great about this movie. And the makeup effects and the actors in the makeup playing the hillbillies, whatever you want to call them, are just phenomenal. It's a top-class film.
And the second one is not the worst film in the world, but it's very hard to care as much about these soldiers because they should be able to take these people out. You know, so I know Predator's a bit like that, but I just thought, like, it's just not as good. Having a normal family dealing with it was much better, much more profound.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to stick this in awesome because I fucking love this film.
Yeah, same. It's going right in awesome.
All right, back on track. Good. Okay. Let me just read a few comments. Where are we? Only a couple here. Tia, hi Tia. I liked Rob Zombie's Halloween. Fair play. Well, there's a lot of love for it.
It's got a massive fan base.
Yeah.
Like a proper dedicated fan base.
And that's cool.
Especially number 2.
That's what's great about horror. You can have these debates, but that's where it ends. It's debate. It's not everyone's got polarizing opinions, but it's all in fun. You're not going to just say, like, you're not going to talk to me ever again if you like Halloween. Hills Have Eyes is a belter. Yes, it is, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, so next up we have Let Me In, a remake of Let the Right One In.
Yeah.
I love this film. Have you seen this, Kurt?
Yeah, of course I have. I've seen both of them.
Yeah, I don't think it's as good as the original.
No.
I think Chloe Grace Moretz, I said her name wrong again, sweating. She's good in it, but she just doesn't have the same gravitas as the girl in the first one.
No, and like we were just talking about this one in our vampire ranking last week. And it's a very solid remake, but the original one is just so much creepier because it's foreign and everything seems off to us because it's not something we're used to. I think Chloe Grace Moretz is good in it. I can't remember his name again, man. The boy, he's in Ender's Game.
Yeah, I know the boy.
Anyway, he was good in it, but yeah, I would put it in. I would put it in okay. Not the best film ever.
I would probably agree. I think there's a scene in it, right, where Chloe is sort of attacking somebody in a alleyway, like a underground, like subway thing, and it's CGI. She's jumping all over them. Do you remember it? And it took me out of the movie.
Yeah.
It didn't seem that kind of movie with CGI. It didn't need it. It should just been a violent attack rather than like jumping around like a superhero.
Yeah.
And I don't remember anything like that in the first one, but I could be wrong. I haven't seen it for a long time. I would agree with you. Okay, this is
nuts, Jenks.
This is quite boring. I was hoping for a bit more arguments.
A battle, like unprecedented.
I think it's only 2 we've disagreed with.
Yeah.
Right. So hang on, 1 sec. Let me read a couple of these quick. I'll read a couple after every film I put in. Jordan Moran.
Yes, George.
Pretty much agreeing with the whole way so far. Yeah. And Tia, new here, you guys. You guys are great. Subscribe, awesome. Appreciate that, Tia.
You legend. Thank you, pal.
Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it. And one last comment, Jordan. Let the Right One is my modern vampire masterpiece. It is awesome. It might even be my top 3 80s vampire classes of Fright Night, Near Dark, and Lost Boys. Oh, fair play.
Hell yes.
Yeah, they are. They are awesome. Okay, next up we have Pet Sematary. Now we discussed this not long ago with Movie Squirm doing the Stephen King one, and we both all agreed it's underrated. I think. Well, I did anyway.
I didn't. No, I don't think much of this one at all. I seen it. I think I've only seen it once, to be fair. Should probably give it another crack, but I love the original one, and I was super excited for this one. It came after it, and I thought, if we can get things going now, it was great, and I was hoping this one could follow the same trend, and it just felt a bit flat for me, to be fair.
This film was made supposedly, as I read, that the studio, I can't remember what the studio is, the rights were going to run out, and they had to pump it out quick to keep the rights of Pet Sematary, and they threw it out. And I watched it recently again, and I did enjoy it. It's not a patch in the first one. I think it was the woman at the bed with the meningitis. Helga. Zelda. She's just not as scary.
No.
That first one, she's to haunt my nightmares.
Oh my God. And there's a guy playing her as well.
It's always worse. And it's always creepier, always more off-putting.
Let me get this comment up on before we move past Pet Sematary. Go on then, Jenks.
Oh, sorry. Go on then, do your Pet Sematary. Don't go down there.
Yes.
Awesome.
Welcome to ya. These guys are awesome.
Oh,
You're
thank
awesome, Ella. Thank you.
Appreciate
And
that.
welcome to ya. Right, so I wouldn't put this one in shit, Jenks. I don't think it's shit at all, but I would put it in okay. I just don't think that much of it, to be honest.
I would put it in okay as well. I give it a solid 3 stars.
Just lie. Put it in shit. Go on.
No, it's not shit. I like it more than you. Why would I put it in shit and you not? I just give it praise.
All right, I'll swap then. I'll put it in shit.
No, you're not swapping. I haven't got any control of this anyway. It's on my computer. Right, so next up we have Poltergeist.
See, I wish I liked this one a bit just so we could have an argument here.
Yeah.
But it's oh my God. Come on, probably one of the worst remakes ever made. And it's got Sam Rockwell in it. What the hell?
I know, he's one of the coolest actors ever. I don't know, the paycheck this must have been.
Do you know, right? I've spent the last year, right, just like showing my girlfriend every horror movie I can possibly show her, right? And we watched Poltergeist 1 and 2 the other day, and I'm not going to watch the remake again, so I just showed her the trailer instead. That'll do. Here's the trailer, and we just sat there for 4 minutes and laughed.
Right, I saw this film when it first came out, and it's not good. I'm sure it's like a 12. It's just quite low end as well.
Yeah.
You know, I know the original was a 15, like it was like a family film, but it's just that I haven't seen it for a long time, so I could be wrong with this. So happily somebody correct me. But obviously, in the first film, the clown is the little boy's clown.
Yeah.
And you know, he gets possessed, whatever. But in this one, there's no clown apart from when they go into the house and it falls from the attic and like it's an old toy. It's been there. I'm like,
yeah.
But it's a new house.
It's a new build.
So maybe I missed something. You know, maybe if I watched it again.
Yeah. You know,
loosely explain it.
If I could go back in time, I would go back and stop myself from watching this. I'd go up behind myself and just say, "Don't go down there.
Don't go down there.
Don't go down there."
It's shit film. Yeah. Should we put this in shit?
Yes.
Shit. Yeah, I love putting things in shit. Is the one.
It's the one.
That sounded like a euphemism, man.
Shit's the one.
Right, let me read a few of these comments before they get too many. Where are we now? So, Jordan, class, have that line stuck in my head constantly. Yeah, it's just so funny, that line from the original Pet Sematary, because my cousin and I we used to say it all the time, and he was in next to him, he was in South Park. I was like, oh, yes.
Yeah, a video popped up on the internet the other day, and someone has put together all the time he says road.
That
like,
road.
Don't go on that road.
That road. It's like, where are you living there? Yeah.
It was like a 4-minute video.
Yeah. Hi, Abigail. Love the original Poltergeist. I'm not willing to waste my time with the remake. Don't bother.
Yeah,
don't bother. And I think Poltergeist 3 is worth a watch. I know you haven't seen it.
Yes,
Curtis.
I haven't seen it. I will definitely give it a watch.
Yes. Jordan Moran, fair play not watching, not including Carrie.
Where'd
or
you
was
get
that a
watching
mistake?
from?
You are including Carrie.
No, it's hard because we don't wanna put too many in. Otherwise we'd be here all night. So some of them had to stay on the editing floor. But
yes.
I don't think much of Carrie remake at all.
No, and do you know what? When we do these, we try to keep it 20. You know, so the fog was not. I was originally going to include the fog, and I thought there's no point. Let's keep it 20. Yeah. A second. So Reese Wilson, Poltergeist remake was Big Fat Nothing Burger. Yes, totally, and it's forgotten, and I'm glad it's dead and buried. Agree with Abigail, Ben. Agreed, Abigail.
A lot of love for Abigail.
Yes, fair play. Right then, next up we have Quarantine, a remake of the Spanish zombie movie Wreck. It's basically a frame-for-frame remake. Personally, I would say that it's pretty much the same film. Because it's a foreign duplicate, so different kind of rules of a remake. They don't have to change it up if they don't want to. But I would say if you can't be bothered to read subtitles with rec, watch this because it's just as good, I think, personally. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think it's got the guts of the first one. But being a shot-by-shot remake, it's more than qualifies as a good remake. Haven't seen it in so long, but I've seen Rec so much, and considering how close it is to Rec, it's definitely a good film.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it anything less than good.
I stuck on,
good film.
funnily enough, the other day, Curtis, I stuck on Quarantine 2 Terminal.
Oh, that's the one on the airplane, innit?
Yes, and I
Is it
switched it off.
shit?
Yeah, it's not a proper sequel. It's tagged on title.
Yeah. They're the worst, innit? Tagged on titles. Oh
You
my
can tell.
God.
Because it's not even on a plane long. Well, I know it's called Terminal, so they get off the plane relatively soon. So they're mostly stuck on it. And I just thought, this is really shit. I can't be bothered. No, like, you don't mind some shit, but you know, when you could tell it's going to be exhausting and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just going to read a comment. So it looks like Andy makes Star Wars has joined us. I made, how's it going? Happy Sunday, lads. Happy Sunday, buddy. I'll be late. Had to sit through Manchester United game, and I'm a fan. Yeah. This is, me and Curtis, we're just not football fans, are we?
No. What's up, Jenks and Curtis? How's y'all doing, mates? We're doing awesome. Even better now you're here, pal.
Yes.
What's happening today? Happy Sunday, mate.
Awesome. Right, next up. Oh, no, we haven't put I would say I put this in good.
Good, yes. Yeah,
good. I agree. Okay, next up we have one of my favourite films ever, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake, 2003's. It was very slagged off when it first came out. People were very, very precious of the original, and rightly so.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just didn't give it a time of day. I think it's grown in love over the years, and I personally, I don't want to say I prefer it, but I used to own this and I didn't own the original. So it's probably,
That's your ranking system, like.
Yeah, probably. But I used to own Batman and Robin, so that's not that's not a good plan.
Doesn't count then, does it?
I love this film. I think Jessica Biel is one of the best final girls ever. She's kick-ass, but a good kick-ass, not like the modern day, like kicking everybody's head in nonsense. And I love it. I absolutely adore this film.
Yeah, same, Jenks. Absolutely. I would put this nowhere else other than awesome.
Yeah, it's just, do you know how strange this one is? It's quite hard to find. It's not readily available.
I don't think it's got a Blu-ray release in the UK, which is just mental.
Yeah.
The rights must be hell.
Yeah, Dawn of the Dead's the same. I think it's quite hard to get Dawn of the Dead as well. I think you were looking for it not long ago.
Yeah, it's not on Blu-ray over here in the UK. I think Scream Factory have a Blu-ray release in America. But these movies are hard to find. It's crazy, like.
I know, and
I'd watch Dawn of the Dead on YouTube.
Yeah,
I have so many films on physical media, right? And I don't own Dawn of the Dead or Texas Chainsaw. I've got it on DVD somewhere amongst the piles, but yeah, they're rare, almost rare, like.
And there's so much love, and you can get, and what's annoying, you can get Texas Chainsaw Massacre the beginning. I think it's on like any of the sort of one of the streaming ones. I'm like, well, that's the same rights issue and studio and everything. It's weird.
Oh, you'd be surprised. It's hard work, like.
Yeah, it is weird. Right, I'll just read a couple of comments, Kurt. Hi, Eli. Texas Chainsaw remake is okay. Oh, what? Oh, let me down. I shouldn't have.
You never let me down, pal.
I shouldn't even read that comment out. I should have just. Iris, I love the Texas Chainsaw remake. RL Emma is fantastic. He is the best thing. He's more terrifying than Leatherface.
He's horrific.
He's a force to be reckoned with. The scene in the car with him telling the guy to pull the trigger is awesome. Yes, and that's Jonathan Tucker, who's in that Kingdom.
Yeah.
MMA. He's brilliant.
He loves dribbling, he does.
He's a great actor.
He dribbles a lot, like, when he's shouting. His mouth's always full of saliva. It's weird.
He's in He's in The Ruins as well, which I forgot until I rewatched the other day.
God, that's such a good film.
Do you know, I watched Kingdom and I realised Jonathan Tucker was the same bloke in Texas Chainsaw. So it's like, oh my God, these are completely different characters. And
yeah.
I just thought, like, this guy is high-end actor, isn't he? He's really good.
Yeah, he's so good. And he's so underutilised. He's hardly in anything. I don't understand it.
I thought it...
He's a big child actor. He was in Sleepers with Jason Patrick, Robert De Niro, Kevin Bacon.
Don't list them. There's about 200 actors in it.
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman, Brad Pitt. I thought when I watched him in Kingdom, because he is the best thing in it. If you've seen it, you should watch it. I think it's on one of the streaming ones. And
it was on Netflix.
I thought he was going to be like a new Christian Bale, because that's the level of acting skills he's got. I think
he's so good.
But he's kind of lost.
Yeah, it's the intensity that he brings, quite similar to Christian Bale, you know.
He actually was in Westworld as well. Anyway, Texas Chainsaw is excellent. TR, yes, 100%. A lot of love for it. I haven't seen Texas Chainsaw remake. Ella, hi Ella. You need to watch it if you can get hold of it.
Yeah.
Good luck. But it is awesome. I'm not. Yeah. No, we hadn't changed your mind in that time. Yeah, that's fair enough. Right. So next up, we have The Fly.
Yes.
Now, I have seen the original. It's very old. It's a classic. I don't like the old. It's too old for me.
No.
It's you know,
Vincent Price with the fly head and the suit.
Yeah. I prefer the Simpsons remake. I do, and the Halloween special. But I think he's going to be Fly Man, and he ends up being tiny. He's got like muscles and a fly head. Yeah. Right. This then, Curtis. I know where this is going to go.
Oh my God, this is easily one of my favourite movies of all time. David Cronenberg at his absolute best with this one. Gina Davis is fantastic.
Yeah.
Jeff
Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. I always forget his name. I don't know why. He's in so many great films.
And he's much more famous than Gina Davis.
I know. Jeff Goldblum is an absolute force in this movie, and I love his descent into madness, and when his body starts transforming, and he's got all the stuff in a jar in his bathroom. David Cronenberg really took an original idea and put his own spin on it.
Yeah, and
it is top 3 greatest remakes of all time. I definitely put this one in awesome.
Yeah, your top 3 is getting fatter and fatter and fatter. I think you got 18 films in your top 2.
It's called Passion, all right, Jenks? Passion. Have you seen a film called Passion of the Christ?
I have, yes.
Yeah. Passion of Curtis.
Right, I'm going to stick this in awesome as well. It is. Yeah, you can't go any lower than that. It's just a crime against film if anyone says that shit. You know, so like some things, it's not about opinion. Some things are scientifically
some things
true.
Are wrong.
Yeah, you know, I think, some things are shit and some things are good. It's not about opinion.
I've never seen the sequel, though. I've never watched the sequel.
I have. Do you know what? It's not as bad as everyone says. You've got Eric Stoltz as his son in it, and you got... and he's just he's just living his life in a lab. So they've been experimenting on all his life. He's never been he hasn't had a life outside, and they're just waiting to see what happens. And it is quite an interesting sequel. It's just not as good as the original, so it kind of got lost, I think.
Yeah. Do you know the arm wrestling scene is one that, oh my God, that stuck with me. I remember watching that when I was young. But what's worse about it is that you can see the pressure, right? So when they're arm wrestling, you can see the sweat building up around his fingers, and you can see the force they're going at. And it's almost like a jump scare. When that arm breaks, you're so fixated on the two of these guys' arms. When the arm breaks, it's almost a jump scare. You jump back but the noise and the image of that bone coming through, oh my God, horrific.
Yes, and even though you've seen it loads of times, it's a bit like Misery, that scene with the sledgehammer. You're excited and you're bracing and you love it, and that's what makes it such an iconic scene.
Yeah, of course.
I love it. I really
I think The Fly and The Thing are the best practical effect movies out there by far.
Yes. Hi Ben. So I have not seen The Fly remake. What the fuck? Yeah, I've got a massive mystery list, C list.
Well, Ben, I'm disappointed.
Reese Wilson, okay, Bart, it's your sugar. I love The Simpsons, especially those early Halloween ones. They're not so good
Yeah.
anymore, the Halloween ones. Okay. I watched the new one the other day. It was crap. I couldn't finish it. They had there were one segment called Denim instead of Venom, and Homer had these like symbiote genes. And I think in a pitch meeting, it probably sounded clever. Denim does rhyme with Venom, but it just was shit.
Yeah.
Really struggled with it. Massive must-see list, I mean. Ella, hi Ella. The Fly definitely gave me nightmares. Class film. Oh yes, it is definitely. Eli, The Fly is top tier. Totally.
Absolutely.
Andy makes Star Wars. The Fly freaked me out for years after I watched it back in the 80s. The second one is okay. Yes, yeah, it is okay. It's just not as.
I'm definitely going to watch that one soon. I had it on VHS at one point, I think, but I loved the first one so much. I heard so much negativity about the sequel. I just never bothered. I never bothered with it.
What it is, it's not a bad film. It's just they took the story of like what would happen next. She's pregnant. What would happen? It's not just like a sequel where somebody else has made a machine and they just took it in its natural sort of progression, and it wasn't as interesting as the first. If that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, next one is The Ring. Came out 2002, 2003 in this country, UK, and it's a remake of Ringu. 1997, I think, or 8. Ringu. And do you know what? It's this remake is absolutely incredible because Naomi Watts, she is class in this film. It's a slow burner. Stuck it on for my daughter about a year ago, and I was kind of aware that it was so slow, but she didn't mind. She doesn't mind slow burners, and I thought, oh, this is an amazing mystery, and it doesn't really get mental until the end, but it is amazing film. I love it.
Yeah. I remember this one coming out. It was almost like a dare. When I was a kid, it was like a dare if you watch this. Like, I dare you to watch The Ring. Almost like them watching the tape in the film. That's what it felt like when you were watching this one for the first time. And I was really young when this came out. Yeah. And it was like watching the cursed tape, like, do you know what I mean? Like, if I watch this, something bad's going to happen to me. And that's the horrible, grungy feel of this movie's got. And, yeah, this is one that has just stuck with me. Gore Verbinski. How the hell did he go on to direct Planet of the Apes? Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah. This guy should have stuck with horror after this one because he done a class job. Oh, my God. And, you know, I love as well, everything's wet the whole film. It's just, oh my God, it's always raining. Everything's blue. It's always raining. Everything's wet. Yeah. It was just a cinematographer's dream. Yeah, like I feel like if you're like a budding cinematographer, watch this film.
Yeah, and you know, the sequel was so bad. Like it just
they brought the original director back to do that one, and he messed it up.
And you know as well, I don't know if there's studio interference or whatever it was just a shit film. But I'd highly recommend this movie if you haven't seen it. Yeah. It is pretty special. Let me read a couple of these while we're still on The Ring. Eli Cortez. The Ring is awesome. Awesome tier all day. Yes. It is. Ella, love The Ring. Yes, I agree. I'm going to stick this in awesome. What do you think,
All
Kurt?
day. Yes, all day, easily.
Yeah. Naomi Watts is a class. And do you know what?
You know, at the time when all these films were coming out, I never appreciated them as much as I do now. I always went, yeah, but they're not as good as the originals or the old horror movies, you know. Yeah. I was always stuck in the 80s and early 90s. Every time these films are coming out, I would always say, yeah, but they're still not as good as the originals. But looking back now, we had some awesome films in the early 2000s.
Well, we did a top 10 noughties video a few months ago. Didn't do
I
well.
thought it was going to be easy.
And it turns out, like, yeah, because the 80s was easy because of so many iconic films. 90s was a little bit trickier, but there was less horror to choose from. It was, you know, they stood out. But, oh my God, from 2000, it was about 30-odd to choose from, wasn't it?
Oh,
it was really hard. Much harder than you realise.
Yeah. Made me second guess unlabeled VHSs.
Yeah.
Do I trust this?
Yeah. Is it a porno or is it a horror? Do you know, right? It was funny that, I mean, not that it matters, but you know, when The Ring came out, it was just like at the end of VHS's run, like DVDs are coming out. So it was like, you know, it's like it almost didn't make any sense. Like, how come there's a video case? How come it's not on DVD?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes, right. Okay, I got a confession, Curtis, and I'm going back on what I said earlier. I haven't seen the original of The Thing. And
I have.
I know I said that I didn't include other ones, but I just couldn't not include this, Curtis, because you would have lynched me. Because every list needs to have The Thing. Otherwise, you give me shit. Even if it's like best westerns.
Yeah.
Best pornos. The Thing. Yeah, you know.
Well, he was modelled after John Wayne. I know that was also Snake Plissken was modelled after John Wayne. Sorry.
Same
thing.
Mixed up
here.
It's all linked. Same, all linked.
Yes, all linked. But I would absolutely put this one in a western tier, definitely. It's got a lot of westernness to it.
Yeah.
I'm clutching at straws here. It's got a lot of westernness to it.
Yeah.
It's snowing. It's got monsters.
Yeah. Snow, yeah. There's a lot of whiskey drinking, come on, there's a connection there, isn't there? Yeah. And there's a lot of men.
Kurt Russell has played a lot of cowboys.
This film is class. I haven't seen the original. It's just one of those films. You know what? It is a remake, but it's one of those remakes where people don't even know it's a remake, and it doesn't matter, you know.
Yeah. It's always been hard to call this one a remake. John Carpenter really went out and did something of his own with this one. It strayed so far from the original film. Now, I think it's closer to the book. I may be wrong. I haven't read Who Goes There, but I think this one is a lot closer to the book than the original film. But yeah, this movie is a game changer. It didn't do well on its release. John Carpenter was released from future projects with Universal, which is just insane because even though it didn't perform well at the box office, surely the execs could have looked at it and gone, yeah, this is a great movie. Yeah. But I think John Carpenter really shot himself in the foot with this one because although John Carpenter is my favourite director of all time, I love nearly all of his movies. I do feel like this one is so far out ahead of all his films. It's insane. Yeah. An absolute masterpiece.
Yes. I'm going to read a few of these comments. Reese, The Thing is Carpenter's magnum opus, without a doubt. I can't wait for the release of the remastered of The Thing video game sequel. Oh, okay, cool.
Do you know, Reese, I remember that coming out, and I was young when it came out. I wasn't very good at games. I had it on PC, and I was awful at it. I was gutted because I couldn't get past the first level, right? And I really wanted to play it because I loved the film. So I'm looking forward, right, with my newfound adult skills of gaming, looking forward to diving back into that one and giving it a better crack because I was absolutely useless at it. I was always gutted.
Thing is awesome. Thing is awesome tier all day. One of Carpenter's best. Yes, definitely. Ella Star. OMG, I haven't seen The Thing.
Yes, you absolutely need to get on that. It's a masterpiece.
Yeah, it is. It's so. It's 82 it came out, and you wouldn't know it. The practical effects are mind-boggling.
Oh, I know. Rob Bottin was the man behind the makeup. Class work.
I watched The Thing recently when we did the video, okay, and I just saw it with fresh eyes. And like, I don't love it as much as you. I obviously respect it, but I just was like in awe of these practical effects, these monsters. Not only were they really cleverly designed and just intricate, it was the originality of everything they were spouting, the horrible legs coming out. It was just the stuff of nightmares, like, really horrible. Reese, I'd say Snake Plissken was modelled after Clint Eastwood and Jack Burton was modelled after John Wayne. See, there's a connection.
Definitely. Jack Burton is more of a cowboy, and by cowboy I mean in the modern sense of a cowboy. Like, if someone doesn't do a proper job of something, you call him a cowboy. And Jack Burton is useless. So he's modelled to be the hero of the movie, but he does absolutely nothing.
Do you know,
he is absolutely useless in it. He's the worst hero ever.
When I watched it, right, I got really bugged when he poured the whiskey on the computer. It really bothered me. I just thought, oh, it's a waste of whiskey. And you've broken that. Like, you know, things like that really bug me. It's like when I watch a film, it's like a superhero film, like Superman lands on a road and the road breaks. I'm thinking, someone's got to fix that. They could have roadworks. Who's going to pay for that? Like,
Hey, forget about that. He destroys a city in Man of Steel.
yeah, who's going to pay for that? Right. So, awesome,
Yeah, awesome.
obviously.
All day.
Yes. Okay. So next up, we have the most recent one on the list. Speak No Evil. It's a remake of 2022's Danish film or Dutch, I forget.
One or the other, yeah. One or
Danish.
the other. Same title.
Yes. Well, I love this film. I think it's superior to the original.
Yeah.
Only because of the ending. The original's awesome, but I
Wait,
do not like.
It's more than just the ending. Come on, like James McAvoy for one, just elevated this movie. And sorry to butt in, Jenks, just to say one thing. What usually happens is, right, you watch the original one and we don't know the actors, right? And it's always better for a horror movie when you don't know the actors because it can be quite distracting, right, to watch a massive A-list star in a bad situation in a horror movie. But James McAvoy absolutely made this one his own. He's the best thing about this film. Easily.
So I would disagree to a certain point. Like I love the original, and I think I enjoyed up until the ending almost equally for both. And it's just the ending of the new one. I love it. I know it's polarizing. Some people don't like those Hollywood endings, but I just love it. I much prefer it. The original made me very uncomfortable. There's shocking and there's mean-spirited sort of horror, and I didn't like it.
Definitely.
Gonna read a couple of these quick.
Let me run through a few, Janks.
Yeah.
Give you a break. Oh, you definitely do, Elias. So good. It is. Oh, we've got a new member. Batshit Scary has just joined at level 1. Mate, thank you so much. You're an absolute legend, pal. We appreciate that. Jenks.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you very much. And I got to say, we've just opened memberships. We've got 2 tiers, 99 pence one and $4.99 one. Any of those we appreciate massively.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be fair, we haven't got enough content for the level 2 one yet anyway, so you're not going to get much out of it. We are working in the background to get as many videos as we can out on that platform just to make it worthwhile. But
yeah,
you're amazing. Thank you so much for joining, pal. We appreciate that.
Awesome.
I hate people who jib shunt. Yeah, you would say that, wouldn't you?
What's that mean?
Jib shunt, like waste shunt.
Oh.
Waste drink, like, yeah. I haven't seen this movie. Oh, Eli, you need to see this one, pal. I think you'd love it.
Yeah.
I feel like I know your taste now, pal. I know your taste, and I think you'd enjoy this one. It's cracking.
It might be too good for him.
Yeah.
There's not
right,
a slime in it.
It's not Trailer Park Zombies, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit classier.
There's no toxic waste in it, and there's no one getting powers from lightning.
Carpenter is incredible. So many bangers. Yeah. Too many great films, to be fair. I watched him live in Bristol a fair few years back, and I was basically standing right next to the guy, and it is the greatest pleasure I've ever had in my life. It was amazing. He just performed with a full band, all his classic hits.
You singing
all his classic hits.
Halloween. Come on, everybody. You know the words.
Right, McAvoy's amazing. He is. I've always loved McAvoy, right? I've always thought he was a top tier actor. But you know, after this film, oh my God, he has just gone to new levels for me. What a performance.
Yeah, amazing.
Insane. I'll rewatch this. The original, not so much. Both great films. Just one for Xmas Day.
Yeah,
just not one for. No, absolutely not. I think that's a throwback to you, Jenks, watching Maniac on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
How do I become a member? So there are some problems. If you've got an iPhone, you have to do it on a web browser because Google don't allow people who have got iPhones to use Google Pay. So if you've got an iPhone, you have to do it through a web browser.
There is another way. If you go into our homepage description, I put a link in there. So you should
it takes
be
you back
able...
to the front screen, Jenks.
Oh,
where
does it?
the join, it'll just take you back to the first screen where join should be.
Yeah. Doing a browser then, yeah. It's
I
rubbish.
helped. So you have to do it on a web browser, not your phone. But Ella, thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate that. It's really bad. And I
know.
We spoke to Davies He's had a memberships up for a while. And I asked him if it's across the board. And it's like, it's just the way it is. Nothing you can do about it.
But
sucks.
if you're Android, it'll just be on the front screen. You'll see a join button. But,
And you know what, Curtis? You know, we would have had about 500 new members.
Everyone's got iPhones.
They get, thousands and thousands.
So sinister. Oh, absolutely. It's probably the most sinister performance I've seen.
Yeah.
Considering he comes across as a proper nice guy in real life, doesn't he? He's proper chirpy and happy. McAvoy is class. Yes. Welcome, Batshit Scary.
Yes, awesome. Welcome to the Twisted family.
Without James McAvoy. Oh, fair shout.
Yeah.
So you're saying even if he wasn't, he would have enjoyed it. Yeah, maybe they could have. Yeah,
definitely.
I'll have to check it out. Definitely check that one out, pal. I have Android. Oh, there we are, Ella. So on our front screen on our page, underneath our profile photo now, you should just see a join button. Thank you.
Yeah, if not, try the link or browser, but it should be there.
Watching an iPhone, Reese. Top man, pal. Thank you so much, Reese. You're awesome, pal. Davey is my dude. He's super awesome like you guys. Do you know Davey was the first person I reached out to when we made this channel because I loved his energy. I thought he was an awesome guy. And we've done a few stuff with Davey and he's such a great guy.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing a watch party on his channel. We're trying to get some dates sorted out. But I think we're going to do a watch party in December of Black Christmas 2018 so we can all shit on it.
Yeah, and you can fall asleep.
But Davey is the absolute guy. He's such an awesome person.
Yeah.
All these billionaire bastards need to get a grip. Shout out to Richard Jenkins and Let Me In. He's one of my favourite actors. Always great. Loved him in The Shape of Water. Welcome to Dixon and Cabin in the Woods. I forgot he was in there. That's so long I haven't seen that. Richard Jenkins.
He's such a good actor.
Step Brothers, come on.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Been watching the channel a little while now, so glad to join. You have, pal, and we appreciate the support, pal, honestly.
Amazing. Right then, should we do the next one?
Yes, let's get on it.
Right then, so, we haven't put it where it is. I'm going to put this in awesome.
Yes, awesome. We're running out of space, Jenks.
No, it's all right, because the last two are shit. I can see them there.
Aye.
Look at that, bang on. Oh, hang on, does it not stretch?
No.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Hey,
okay.
that's the first time it's done that.
Yeah, okay, do you know what? Let's pretend there's two there. Yeah.
It doesn't matter, man, it extends.
I know, it doesn't extend.
It does. Look, drop it back.
Oh, yes, I thought it was going down onto the next one.
Yeah.
Ew. Anyway, right, so next up we have A Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake. Came out 2010. It's very, very universally hated. I stuck it on because, look, I do not think it's the worst film ever made. I just think he's just not Robert Englund, and it's very hard. And I think they were going for more realistic Burns, where tight skin just doesn't work. And for that, I don't really like it very much.
If I rewatched this film, it would almost be like watching a new film. I haven't seen it since it came out. I wasn't a fan on my first watch. I can't, to be honest, it's been so long, I can't comment that much on it. I'm not going to put it in shit because it's not as bad as Poltergeist or Amityville.
No.
So I put in okay.
And it's also, I suppose, a bit like Hellraiser, where a lot of the Freddy later sequels are quite weak, and I suppose, it's not worse than Part 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you know what? Where we've been reviewing the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, Jenks, we should cap them off with reviewing this one, because we're up to 5 now. We've got 5 to do, and we will review them all. So we have to do this one.
Have we? Do we have to?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. I'm going to stick this in okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say okay. Right. Let me just read a few comments for the build up. Give me a second. Where are we? So Jordan Moran, I just rewatched Witch of Eastwick, great film. And Jenkins is great in that. Oh, I forgot he's in that.
Does
Yeah,
he still look old in that?
I think he's old all his life, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like Morgan Freeman. He's just been old all his life.
Yeah, I need to rewatch that. I haven't seen Witches of Eastwick since I was a kid.
He's also in a small part in There's Something About Mary. He's the therapist, and he's in the other room while he's giving it when Ben Stiller's giving his spiel. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
Listen,
I can't
and he comes
picture
in
him in
and he
it.
comes in and he wipes his mouth. No, he's still got his napkin round his neck.
Yes, yeah,
You know,
because he
that's-
was in Sailors and So as well, I think.
he's part of
Yeah,
that
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of Farley Brothers family, isn't it?
Yeah,
they'll pop up.
and he was in Monster.
With the Charlize Theron.
No, the Dama. He played Dama's father.
Dama's father. Yeah, great actor.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce that? Devon Tanti? Can you pronounce that?
Devontae Huntley.
Devontae Huntley. I don't think The Ring should count because it's simply another country adaptation. It's not a remake in terms like the others. True, yes.
Yeah, maybe so, yeah.
But I would say with like Quarantine and Wreck is probably truer because they are a frame-for-frame remake. With the American one, they've done something quite different. And that's why I think it's a little bit. But I think with Quarantine, maybe you have a point. Well, trust me, is shit. Fair enough.
I may hate it on rewatch. Like I said, I haven't seen it in so much. So long.
Yeah, Tyler Adams, not much redeeming in Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Kyle Garner was good. Yes, he's always
I love
good,
Kyle
Kyle
Garner.
Garner.
He's great. He's a bit of a horror icon himself,
Yeah,
isn't he?
yeah. Oh, I know you haven't seen Smile 2, right? But
Yeah.
there's an opening scene with him in it, and it is so good.
Yeah.
You really need to jump on that when it comes out.
I will. As soon as it's on streaming, I'll rent
Yeah.
it.
Hi, Ben. I love the Freddy franchise. Yeah, it's a good franchise. Eli, a Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Shit, they made Freddy a pedo. What the fuck? He was meant to be a pedo originally, but they thought a child killer was less offensive. It's really strange.
Yeah, but the problem is that Freddy's a bit of an icon, yeah? So people love Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
They watch Nightmare on Elm Street because of him. You don't want to root for a pedo. Not that we root for Freddy anyway, but bear in mind, Freddy's been on lunchboxes and in music videos and you just can't have him being a pedo.
Haven't you got a Jimmy Savile lunchbox hanging around? The same thing, isn't it? You got a tattoo of him. And your other hand. No, you actually that demon one. You've gone over Jimmy Savile's face. Tyler Adams. Elm Street is my favorite horror franchise. Just toss the remake.
Yeah, I have been having so much fun rewatching them all to review. We've been reviewing them one movie at a time, and so far 4 for 4 have been fantastic.
Yeah, Devontae Hunt. Nightmare remake is an absolute nightmare shit. Reese, going back to review Nightmare Street remake, you're doing the Lord's work, fellas. Whiskey will be required. I know. I don't know. I don't really want to do it, but
It might be the right time to start drinking whiskey.
yes. Do you know what? I tried to start drinking whiskey a couple of years ago, and I realised I'm not man enough because I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eli, I love Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, my favourite, but I can't get behind the remake. Yeah. Tyler Adams, Witches of Eastwick is one when I watched a ton when I was little. Yep, Richard Jenkins has always been old. Right, the last one on the list is I was going to say Nightmare on Elm Street. Night of the Living Dead remake, 1990s.
I think this is where we're going to differ here, Jenks.
Tom Savini's remake. No,
Yeah.
we both like this film. I don't dislike this film.
All right. I very, very like this film, though.
Very like it.
I very like it.
Okay, so we're gonna. So yeah, it's a decent remake. It's almost frame for frame, but it's easy to remake something that was black and white and then old.
No, of course. Like Tom Savini put his own stamp on it. He's changed a few things. There's things that you were expecting to happen that didn't happen, and he kind of turns it on his head.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's the hero now, and she kicks ass. Obviously, the zombies are better. You've got Tom Savini on set. He was actually meant to work on the original one, and he got called out to Vietnam, which is insane. And then when he came back, then he teamed back up with George Romero, obviously, to do Dawn of the Dead and then Day of the Dead. But I think this is a fantastic remake. I think Tom Savini did a great job considering it was his first, it was his direction debut for a movie. I'm not sure if he did Tales from the Dark Side episode before this one, but it doesn't matter. I think he did a great job. I'm a huge fan of this film. It's one I go back to a lot. I think it's one of the better zombie movies out there.
Now, if he went to Vietnam, I hope he had his sex machine gun on his crotch. You know, like I just can imagine him being like a badass soldier.
Yeah,
because he looks like a genuine like tough guy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just read this quick because he's still talking about Elm Street. Devontae, he was a pedo in the original series. Pat Fye confirmed this in a newspaper article. I don't see the uproar in that though. When he's already a child killer, yeah, I totally agree. It's not the worst than being a pedo. Yeah, it's a funny.
Oh, yeah, of course. They're both absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, it's a funny old thing. But anyway, Abigail, Tom Savini is a horror legend. Yeah, he is. He's awesome. So I'm going to put this, Curtis, in okay. It's a good film, worth a watch, but I can't.
I'm putting it in awesome, boy.
There's no
Nothing
room,
less than
no
awesome.
room. It's got to go and shit.
Piss off.
Yes. Do you know what? That flew by. We've been doing it for an hour and a half. We did talk about Christmas for Christmas movies for half an hour, but
I know. I was looking at the time. I thought, we best get stuck in now. What do you think?
Yeah. Yes, I enjoyed that. I got to say, I would have liked to include like all of them, like The Fog and everything, a really good, like hard hitting tier, but it just takes too long. You know, it's taking like almost an hour and a half.
Of course.
No,
it's good to cap it off for 20.
Yes.
It's a good solid number.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Do you want a few questions or do you need to shoot off, Kurt? What's your situation?
No, I can have a few questions, but I'll need to shoot off soon, yeah. If people want to stay and chat with us, that's fine. I don't want to just jump off straight away.
Yeah.
Yes, mate. Oh, good tier. I thought you said God tier.
Do you know, right? I got to say, I love doing these tiers and things like that, but I am itching to do like back to a review show.
Yeah, there's just nothing out at the moment. It's nuts, like.
It's really
grim.
There's
nothing being released.
So I want to start doing, you and I have decided we don't really like doing shorts because just getting a different audience and we don't want to be doing it. So we're going to include the odd short in our membership tier because it's no harm. And I want to start doing before and after. Before you go in the cinema and the reaction afterwards because it's an easy video to make. But there's nothing to watch. There's nothing to watch at all.
I think the next film now I'll be seeing cinema is probably Nosferatu in January.
That sucks.
There's nothing I can think of. I don't want to go see Gladiator. Obviously, don't fancy Wicked. There's nothing in cinema at the moment I want to watch.
I think going to see Wicked would be like pulling teeth.
Yeah, well, that's 3 hours.
And it's a two-parter, mate.
Oh, it's going to be 2 parts.
Apparently, yes, 2 parts.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's mental.
It's done crazy numbers, though.
I saw the play. My wife took me, dragged me.
And, dragged me.
Do you know what? It's not my cup of tea. The songs are quite crap. I think the main song, Defying Gravity, is really good, but the rest are just generic musical songs. People sing.
Be careful now, right? Because I guarantee you a lot of our audience will love Wicked, you know.
Well, my daughter wants to see it, and my wife is going to take her. So I'm like, oh, thank fuck for that. Let me read a few of these comments. Hi, Jordan. The Fog, hard shit here.
Painful shit. You know those painful shits.
Yeah.
Painful shit.
Yeah, breach shit. Jill, another great job podcast while putting my decks up, but had it on loud. Oh, yeah, it's not too early for decks. Eli, just review older films, but don't get that much love.
that don't get that much love. That's exactly why we thought we would do Return of the Living Dead Part 3. But Jenks, right, texted me yesterday. He said, I've got bad news. And I thought, oh, what now? And then he disappears for half hour. So
He's a busy man.
I'm panicking, thinking it's genuinely bad news. And then he tries telling me that we've got to review Return of the Living Dead Part 4 and 5. Well, I put my foot down. I'm not doing it. I'm not reviewing them. Because life's too short to watch.
But you haven't seen them. You haven't seen them.
It doesn't matter, Jenks. It doesn't matter. Some films are not worth watching.
But you've seen so many shit films. Why don't
it's
two
good
more is
shit.
not going to matter?
It's good shit. This is shit. Like, I'm not going to watch the Sharknadoes. Like, Street Trash is good shit.
No, but
it's a well-made movie with good practical effects, right?
But Sharknado's different. It's meant to be shit.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is it's still a film I know I don't need to watch.
Tarman is actually in Rave to the Grave, number 5.
Oh, you're not going to sell it.
He's not really in it. It's just a shit version of him. He hitches a car a ride in the end. He's on the street and somebody picks him up. I'm trying to do the thumb, but I'm not in shot.
Yeah, I put my foot down now. I'm not watching them. I'm not
Devontae, there's another Nosferatu remake came out last month on Apple TV. Oh, right, okay.
Really? Well, I haven't got Apple TV, but I know there's a few good shows in it now. I'll be getting it back when Severance Season 2 comes out.
Severance is top notch. I loved it.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Tyler, got plans for New Year? Maybe make a horror short? Yes.
We are. Yeah, sorry, Jenks.
No, carry on.
Yeah, go on.
So we have a plan. We're going to put together something. I got multiple scripts, and we're going to do maybe something very short, just a bit of practice. Curtis is going to do his directorial skills and his editing skills. It's out of my forte. I like the writing part, but I'm not saying I don't know anything about it, but I don't understand about lighting and things like that. Curtis is a bit of an expert at that, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say expert, but I went to uni to study it, and I'd like to think that I could do okay, but it's something we've always talked about, Jenks. Getting a bit of money together, making a short film. Hopefully that will lead on to bigger things. But I feel like the podcast is a good step in the right direction for us to work in film. Let's make a podcast. Let's talk about films.
Yes.
And hopefully that can lead to more things. But thanks for asking, Tyler, pal. We'll definitely be making a short at some point.
And all our 10 members are going to contribute to our blockbuster we're going to make with money. Do you know, we're going to make some very short. This podcast has taken up a lot of our time and our brain power. And so we said, like next year, 2025 will be the year that we start actually doing it properly. I made a list of all my short stories, and I put them in like order of what would be the cheapest to make, and we managed to get about 5 out of there, and then just see what happens. But Yes. So I think the best thing to do, like anything, is to just do it and see what happens. Don't wait to be perfect. Make our first film. If it's not perfect, make sure the next one's better and better. A bit like YouTube. The first video, is never as good as the 100th video. I think people, if we made 100 bad films, we probably wouldn't have any audience.
Another great podcast, guys, as usual. Thank you so much, Ben. Appreciate that, pal. I've got The Thing this Saturday night at the cinema.
Cool.
I still haven't seen it in the cinema.
That's awesome.
I'm dying to see that on the big screen.
Yeah.
Is it still releasing Christmas Day here in the UK? Who goes to cinema on Christmas Day? We're all pissed and stuffed.
I know. That's it's got to be an American thing.
I thought it was only being released in America on Christmas Day. I think it's been released early January for us.
Yeah, but it must be a tradition in American tradition, without a doubt. It's not a British
Enjoyed your podcast, both. Thank you so much, Wendy, and thank you for jumping on. Are you both Scottish? No, we're Welsh, but I've seen a few people get confused with the accents. But if you know Wales, we're Welsh.
Yes, it's not it's a compliment, or nothing wrong with the Scots.
Yeah, of course.
Our allies.
Great show as always, guys. Thanks for jumping on, Ella. We appreciate it. Thank you for sticking out for over an hour and a half.
Yes.
Watch Wicked. Might be pulling teeth, but I work in cinema and working. This is me in my wits' end. 3 hours on the... If you still had those projectors that you have to turn, 3 hours. There we are. Same question. Nosferatu getting some noise already in America from some reviewers. Yes, I've seen some great early reviews. I think Robert Eggers has another masterpiece on his hands. Currently my most anticipated movie. I can't wait to see it. Laughed my ass off. My daughters went to see Wicked with my mother-in-law and fell asleep during the movie. She said it was boring. I thought we'd get some love for Wicked in this chat.
Yeah.
And Blown Away Street Trash remake hasn't come up yet. I haven't seen it. It's not available yet for me anyway. So
what's it on then? I know it's on straight to nothing, like straight to the toilet.
Just streaming like toilet, straight down the toilet.
Like
I don't know. I think Amazon, but it's not over here on Amazon. I know that.
Right. Street
Trash though. Sure, I saw it's come on one of the streaming services recently. I need to check again, to be honest. Last time I checked, about 2 days ago. It wasn't out, but I'm dying to see it.
Well, you think Shudder would have snapped it up, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yes, the Sharknado movies are such trash. The fact that they were they were out to make bad movies, several of them, is baffling to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't be bothered for them.
No.
Okay, well, it's good to know. I was never familiar with that area. Now you know, fair enough, pal.
Yes.
Great show, guys. Looking forward to the next one. Thank you so much for jumping on, Eli. We appreciate it. Another one of our classic emojis are not showing up. We've got Wicked is getting such mixed reviews. Some even love it, others hate it.
Oh, yeah,
yeah, I think it's definitely going to be one that's not for everyone. I know people who are fans of the musical are going to love it.
Yes.
I personally would probably watch it with my daughter when it comes on streaming.
Yes, I would. Yeah, I'd rather go to the dentist than watch Wicked. I'm Welsh too, boys.
Sorry, Janks.
Reese,
you really?
Well, Reese today, you know, he's got a Welsh name.
Yeah.
I'm Welsh too, but I was raised in Australia. Parents moved over here when I was a baby. Fair play.
So, are you still living out in Australia now? Very glad to have got the show.
Hi, Taylor. Very glad to caught the show. Yeah, hi, Taylor. Awesome. Right, I think maybe it's a good time to wrap it up, Kurt. Do you agree?
Yes, yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Like always, big, huge thanks to you guys. Really, really appreciate it. I really love doing these lives. They're so much fun and so easy compared to the other videos. There's a lot more stress. But,
everyone who's jumped on again, like I say, it's the same people every week. So thank you all who have jumped on. We've had a few new people in the chat this week. You're very welcome. Thanks for jumping in, guys. And a few more subscribers to our channel. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate it.
Yes. Still live in Australia, but I go back to visit often. Awesome.
That's awesome, pal. That's awesome.
Right, guys. Spread the word if you like our channel. Tell the world about it. Subscribe.
Scream from the rooftops.
Yes, join if you can. But being here is just as awesome. Appreciate it. If you love horror rankings, reviews, please subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys.
Cheers all. See you next week.
Thanks, guys.